If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. You can add a threaded comment or note to a workbook cell in Excel for other people to read. For example, you could add a threaded comment or note to a formula cell that explains its function, or add one that tells others what data to enter into a cell. Often you use threaded comments or notes in Excel when changing a shared workbook to tell others what you changed and why you changed it. Excel for Microsoft 365 primarily uses threaded comments in workbooks. Threaded comments let other users reply to your comment. You can also reply to others' comments in shared workbooks. Excel for Microsoft 365 now refers to the older traditional comments as notes. Threaded comments and notes in Excel appear as text boxes associated with cells. When someone moves their mouse pointer over a cell containing a threaded comment or note, it then appears and shows the cell's threaded comment or note. Cells with notes attached to them show a small red triangle in the cell's upper right corner. If you make changes to a workbook using the older traditional workbook sharing feature and then highlight the changes appear as cell notes but using a different colored triangle. Alternatively, the new threaded comments in Excel for Microsoft 365 appear as purple colored triangles in the cell's upper right corner. You cannot add both a threaded comment and a note to the same cell in Excel for Microsoft 365. To manage threaded comments in worksheet cells in Excel for Microsoft 365, use the buttons that appear in the Comments button group on the Review tab of the ribbon. To insert a new threaded comment into a cell, click the cell into which to add the comment. Then click the New Comment button in the Comments button group on the Review tab of the ribbon. Alternatively, right-click a cell and then choose the New Comment command from the pop-up menu that appears to insert a new comment. Either action then creates a new threaded comment and shows the default username of the current Microsoft 365 user. Type the comment to post into the text box here. Then click the Post Comment button in the threaded comment. To insert a new note, if using Excel for Microsoft 365, click the Notes button in the Notes button group on the Review tab of the ribbon. Then click the New Note command in the drop-down menu that appears. Alternatively, right-click the cell to which to add the new note, and then select the New Note command from the pop-up menu that appears. The new note appears as a text box attached to the cell and shows the default username of the current Microsoft 365 user. Type its comment into the note's text box. To finish, then click back into the worksheet cells after typing. After creating a threaded comment or note in Excel, it then appears in the worksheet when someone holds their mouse pointer over its cell. To respond to a post within a threaded comment in Excel for Microsoft 365, hover over the threaded comment containing the post to which to reply. Then click into the @mention or reply field, type your reply, and click the Post Reply button to finish. The posted reply then appears as a separate comment within the larger threaded comment in the cell. To edit threaded comments or notes in Excel for Microsoft 365, select the cell containing the threaded comment or note to edit. You can only edit your own comments within a threaded comment in Excel for Microsoft 365. To edit one of your threaded comments, then roll over the comment to edit, and click the Edit Comment button. Then edit the comment, and click the Post Comment checkmark button below it. Separately, to edit a selected cell's note in Excel for Microsoft 365, either click the Notes button in the Notes button group on the Review tab of the ribbon, and then select the Edit Note command in the drop-down menu that appears, or right-click the Notes cell and then select the Edit Note command from the pop-up menu that appears. Excel then shows the note in its editing mode, where you can change it as desired. After editing its content, then click back into the worksheet cells to set the note. To delete a threaded comment or note from a cell in Excel for Microsoft 365, select the cell with the threaded comment or note to delete. Then click the Delete button in the Comments button group on the Review tab of the ribbon. Separately, to delete a posted reply comment within a larger threaded comment in a selected cell, hover over the reply to delete within the threaded comment. Then click the More Comment Actions button that appears towards the upper right corner of the comment, and select the Delete Comment command from its drop-down menu. Separately, to mark a threaded comment in Excel for Microsoft 365 as resolved, which keeps the threaded comment in the worksheet but locks the thread from further comments, hover over the threaded comment to mark as resolved. Click the More Thread Actions button in its upper right corner, which looks like an ellipsis mark, and then select the Resolve Thread command. If needed, to reopen a resolved threaded comment, hover over it, and then click the Reopen button, which looks like a backward circling arrow, to reopen the threaded comment for further commenting again. To view threaded comments or notes in Excel, hover the mouse pointer over the cell with the threaded comment or note to display. It then appears on screen so you can read it. If desired, to start reading a selected threaded comment or note in Excel for Microsoft 365, and then move through all the other threaded comments or notes, which you may want to do if there are many threaded comments or notes in a workbook, either click the Previous Comment or Next Comment buttons that appear in the Comments button group on the Review tab of the ribbon to move through all the threaded comments, or click the Notes button in the Notes button group on the Review tab of the ribbon, and then select either the Previous Note or Next Note command from the drop-down menu that appears to move through all the notes. You then move from threaded comment to threaded comment or note to note in the workbook until you reach the end of the workbook. After reaching the end of the workbook, a message box appears to ask if you want to start reviewing from the beginning of the workbook. Either click the OK button to continue reviewing from the beginning of the workbook, or click the Cancel button to stop reviewing. Then just click into a non-commented worksheet cell to hide the display of the threaded comments or notes again. To change the display of a note in Excel for Microsoft 365 so it constantly appears in the worksheet regardless of whether you hover your mouse pointer over it, click the cell containing the note to constantly show. Then click the Notes button in the Notes button group on the Review tab of the ribbon, and select the Show/Hide Note command. To hide the note again later, click the cell with the displayed note. Then click the same Show/Hide Note button again. The threaded comments in Excel for Microsoft 365 don't let you display them on screen constantly in the worksheet. Alternatively, to open a Comments pane at the right side of the worksheet, which shows all the worksheet's threaded comments, click the Show Comments button in the Comments button group on the Review tab of the ribbon. You can also manage threaded comments within the Comments pane too. To close it when finished, click the X button in the pane's upper right corner. To toggle the display of all workbook notes between constantly showing and only showing when a user hovers over their cells, First, click into the worksheet. Then click the Notes button in the Notes button group on the Review tab of the ribbon, and select the Show All Notes command. To move a note, if the notes overlap each other, click and drag it by its border to reposition it on screen. To hide all the notes again after showing them, click the same Show All Notes button again to hide their constant display in the workbook. To convert all a workbook's notes into threaded comments in Excel for Microsoft 365, which also removes all images and formatting from them, click the Notes button in the Notes button group on the Review tab of the ribbon. Then select the Convert to Comments command from the drop-down menu that appears. Read the information in the confirmation warning message box. To then continue, click the Convert All Notes button in the message box, or click the Cancel button to cancel if needed. You can print notes in a worksheet in Excel for Microsoft 365, either on a separate sheet that lists all the threaded comments and notes, or print only the notes as they appear on screen. You can only print threaded comments in Excel for Microsoft 365 on a separate sheet. If you choose to print notes as shown on screen, then you must first set the notes you want to print to constantly show on screen first. Then click the Page Setup dialog button in the lower right corner of the Page Setup button group on the Page Layout tab of the ribbon to open the Page Setup dialog box. In the Page Setup dialog box, then click the Sheet tab. Then use the Comments and Notes drop-down to select how to print them. None, which won't print them. At End of Sheet, which prints them at the end of the sheet on a separate page. Or As Displayed on Sheet, Notes Only, which only prints notes as they appear on screen. Then click the OK button in the dialog box to set your printing preference. Then print the worksheet to view the comments in the Print job using the comment printing method you selected. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.